in terms of the top best money makers in old school RuneScape, Deadman mode is up there with the best, considering the fact that last tournament I made about 700, 800 mil. And I'm going to tell you how I did that and what the best top 10 best combat moneymakers are in Deadman mode. Hope you guys enjoy. Well, number 10 on the list is actually going to be DK's. There's a lot of pros and cons. I mean, don't get me wrong. Pros, you're going to be printing rings, making a lot of money. The rings, Berserker ring especially, it's going to be going for a lot of money, make a lot of GP per hour. But it's number 10 on the list because, not going to lie to you, a lot of PKers come here. And clans, like if a clan jumps you, like right now, say you're coming, doing this kill, clan comes down this door, freezes you, you're just dead. So the run is also frustrating. I believe you're also locked behind a couple quests. So there's pros and cons to it, but definitely on the list for a reason because the money here is very good. Okay. You sweaty nerds already know where I'm at. Number 9 on the list is going to be raids. Not top in general, just raids, because don't get me wrong, you can make some bank doing raids in Deadman mode. You can make some bread. But we all know what the downside's going to be, right? Yep, you guessed it. A lot of sweaty clans out there making a tournament very, very, very difficult for you. Very unfortunate, but there's going to be a lot of people that try to kill you, and then you run to the bank and you eat a lot of food and you keep eating food, but then you don't know where to go, so then you end up dying because they keep killing you and you don't have enough food. Oh my god, this sweaty nerd. This sweaty nerd over here. You know who I'm talking about. That's a nice looking cape, man. But anyway, raids, you're gonna make a lot of bread. Same cons as kind of DKs. I mean, it's also gonna be a lot of fun. I definitely highly recommend you try some raids in Deadman mode because, like I said, if you have some friends, make some money. Anyway, we're gonna be moving on. Okay, number 8 on the list. Not really gonna go into this one that much because you either know how to do CG or you don't. Because this is I'm not the biggest sweaty nerd in the game, but CG is kind of fun. A little hard, definitely hard, but a lot of fun. And Deadman mode is one thing they don't really not a lot of people talk about is the fact that it's actually a lot easier because of the sigils and stuff. So CG basically a breeze, but cons is there's a lot of quest wrecks and doing Song of the Elves in a Deadman mode tournament is a little psycho. I'm not even gonna lie, you might have some autistic problems or something. I'm not gonna get into it. You know how it is. But anyway, we all understand. Anyway, um, you can make bread here. You really can. Good money. There's definitely a lot of downside in terms of the fact that it takes a lot of effort to get here. But if you're willing to put in the work, not a lot of people are going to be here. It's not really a PKing hotspot as much as you might think. And don't get me wrong, the BOF is not really that high in demand in Deadman mode, but if you can get a nice little BOFA later on in the tournament and sell that at the GE, you can make some serious spread swapping over. Don't really have too much to say about that, but yep, that's number 8 on the list. Moving on to number 7. All right, more and more money. We're on number 7 on the list, and this is not Duke in general. It's actually all of the T2 bosses, and for the simple reason that Virtus later on in the tournament, a lot of money, a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, the rings also later in the tournament go for a lot of bread, and the escapes are pretty hard from here. I'm not gonna lie, but there's not a lot of PKers. The cons are obvious. You got to do, a lot of questing, which might not be your favorite thing. But if you're looking for a strategy that not too many people are going to be doing, this might be the one for you. Anyway, more and more money. Moving on the list. All right, the next number on the list Numero 6 is going to be next. And I feel like it's pretty straightforward. The Torah pieces later on in the tournament are very, very good. And also, let's say I'm in a DMM tournament. Nice little tip for you: never forget your looting bag. Your looting bag you can bring anywhere. You don't have to be in the wilderness. I'm sorry, I was focusing, but now I'm refocused. Yes, yes, yes. Wow. Again, I forgot you could talk to these guys. It's really cool. What was I saying? Okay, so next is gonna be going the same thing as Gobbler's Dungeon. Gobbler's Dungeon number 5, next number 6, or getting to the point where you can start bringing your corrupted Scythe at Bandos, your corrupted Tivo at Nex, and same cons as usual, honestly. Since it's in multi, you're going to have a lot of people, a lot of clans that try to kill you, but not as much as you might think. And next, you have to kill all 4 bosses, so if you can kind of rush into Nex and get a Torah piece or, you know, any of the really good stuff right away, considering the drop rate, you know how it is with DMM, it's like, what is it, 4 times, 5 times better? So it's very common to actually get drops. You go with your friends, maybe like 3 or 4 people, get a drop, kill all 4 of the God Wars bosses, run into next right away before anyone else. It could honestly easily be number 1 on the list in terms of best money maker. If you do it right, definitely you can make an insane amount of money. But don't get me wrong, there's not that many tryhards that are going to want Torva, and they're really going to want it for endgame, basically for the end of the tournament. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if you can make 200-300 mil old school off one piece. And the drop rate's very common. Don't forget that. Uh, I've had a lot of fun with God Wars, and the most fun is actually Zamorak, surprisingly. And that's because Zamorak in the main game, you don't really, it's not really worth doing. Nobody really does it. Sometimes you do it on tests, sometimes you don't. But it's actually worth doing in Deadman mode because of the I can't think of what it's called. It's that PvP staff that everyone wants. And I'm not even joking. It goes for, I believe, last tournament it was 70 mil, and 70 mil Deadman mode when the drop rates are 1 to 15, 1 to 20, 1 to 30. You can do the math. What's 15 times? I mean, what's 7 mil? Whatever. Math is hard. But you make more and more money, and the higher we go on the list, the more and more money you make. All right. Let us go into number 4. And I actually don't have to go anywhere for number 4. So I will just continue to talk like a psycho, little psycho. Yes, yes, yes. That's a cute little Vorky. Number 4 on the list is going to be breaches and PKing at breaches. Because if you can MVP, and they did say they were going to do changes to the Demo tournament than the last time, in terms of you won't get as much loot. But as broken as they were last time, they will still be broken, and you still be able to make a lot of GP from breaches, and they're incredibly fun. So to do something that's very fun, very new, very fresh, and also make a lot of bread, it's definitely worth trying out. Highly. Hello, hello, you crazy people. Numero 3 on the list of the top 10 best MMO combat money makers is Slayer. And for one particular reason, with the Bloodhound relic and getting clue scrolls all the time, you can, I think it's 75% chance of getting a clue scroll done on your first try, and you can change it up, have a lot of fun, switch it up, you know how it is. Some good Slayer XP. I'm going to go into a guide in terms of like the best strategy, but actually, sorry, I'm getting off topic. But anyway, rushing Slayer in Deadman mode off rip. If you can get yourself some whips, some of the tridents, and don't get me wrong, at level 93, we all know what occults go for in Deadman mode and why they are bread. A lot of bread. Not going to go into too detailed account of Slayer, in terms of strategy. I mean, I know Slayer is a lot of people's favorite skill for a reason. And Deadman mode is no different. And the whips go for an insane amount. Tries go for a lot. I already said that, and I'm repeating myself because I'm a little crazy person. That is a cute little flower. But anyway, we are going to go on to number 2. Okay. Number 2 on the list. We're gonna keep it quiet because we're gonna keep this one in. What the? Get away from me. We're gonna keep this one in the family because I was ranked 1 in this last tournament, and this is how I made a majority of my bread. A majority of my GP was from this, and that is because the drop rate is 1 in 12 for any Barrows item, and in Deadman mode it's 1 in 4, and with the Sigil of Last Recall you can teleport right back to the underground after you kill the brothers, and it's insane. You can get about like 5-6 drops an hour. It's insane, and you can get Carol's Top, which sells for 7 mil, which drops over to like 50 mil. Oh my god. Actually, it's probably more than 50 mil. I'm not even gonna lie. This number 2 because I personally am not exaggerating how broken this was the last tournament, and not a lot of people knew about it. And the pro, like, there's just no cons. Like, you teleport right here. I also highly recommend. That's why I brought this to remind myself. I highly recommend building a portal in Barrows in your house. Level 50 construction, I believe you need, because the Barrows teleport themselves. They go for bread. They're just not worth it. And there's a lot of those, psychos. That's a weird little moneymaker. That's not combat related. But I remember it took me a while before, or you could just get the magic level to teleport. But there's just not a lot of cons. You make a lot of bread. You teleport right here. Sometimes as a PK, okay, you tank 1 freeze, maybe 2, and then you dig. You can go up, down, dig, up, down. Sometimes it's your entrance, so you just spam space bar and you get in. Like the escapes away from PKs, how much money you can make, it's broken. And honestly, I didn't even want to put this in the video because of how insane it is and how much I used it last time. I was rank 1. It's pretty funny. I was rank 1. Imagine the rank 1 Barrows guy watched this video because his name was rank 1 Barrows. Very funny. I beat you. Get wrecked. Anyway, going on to number 1. All right. Well, I hope you're excited for number 1 on the list. The new Barrows, Moons of Peril. Basically, Barrows rate drop rate, but with items that give strength bonus. It's kind of like doing God Wars Dungeon without doing God Wars Dungeon. I mean, there's a lot that can be said about this new armor because it gives the strength bonus. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's why Barrows is number 2 because Barrows can be used a lot at the breaches, still PKing. I mean, you got to really think about it. What gear does everyone want? Not everyone's going to be able to afford Bandos chestplate top and bottom with a nice little Virtus top and bottom. So, you know what I mean? Not everyone's got the full switch. Not everyone has the full switch because it costs so much bread. But this was not in the last MMO tournament, and I don't know how many people are thinking about it, but I know I am because I believe this is number 1 on the list. And you know what? If this isn't your thing, if you don't like Moons Apparel, if you haven't tried it yet, you should try it. If you have tried it and you don't like it, I think it's a lot of fun. But it's number 1 on the list because of pure GP per hour that you can be made here, and the items that this stuff is going to go for. All the items, everyone's going to want them because everyone wants to PK and everyone wants the best gear to PK with for the cheapest price. And considering the fact that this armor is better than Barrows, and yes, obviously it's worse than Bandos, but if you've played in any other DMM tournaments, you know that it's very rare to see a PKer fully kitted out because it's just so much bread. They're saving that armor for the final hour, and they want to spend money without having to spend too much money. Best way I can put it. This is number 1 on the list, and this video took a while to make, so I hope you guys leave a comment, like, and subscribe, and all right, take care.